Extension, of course. I welcome you back to Ghana Speaks Extension. And tonight, the segment where you drew near friend, Ghana Speaks, under this, is the Frontline Investigate. And tonight, we announced the Frontline show in the coming event. We'll be publishing hidden characters in the political space who want to ride on political expediency exploitation and make it to the top, yet with questionable characteristics. In the coming days, events, enipa bi a wono mo hyehyɛ MPP mu, enipa bi a wono mo hyehyɛ NDC mu, aye o madwen so meye ohintadu echifo, ye de yehyem, ye twɛn mo wura ba omie wini power, then they countenance on the power. No ma ko hyehyɛ agege omu posts, ministerial positions, deputy ministers, chief executives, no mo de ye nyoma ense na emfata. The same apply to NDC. Wono mo twɛn sɛ Ora John Mahama obenya post na wo magigi wo mu post nketenkete na enso na wo mu hyemu a wo mu di bone na minise abriya ye ka se Ora John Mahama, one of the greatest lessons perhaps he might have learned is when he went to opposition. Ho en Ora John Mahama misusu se we hu some true nature of some people he trusted when he was in government. Oh yes. Ebina me beda ne di akere no tonight. NDC mpedifo mo mama somre fi hase. Yeah. Tonight the spotlight is on this man called Dr. Christopher Beyere, former executive secretary, health training institutions, and also we are learning so on was no the parliamentary candidates Emma the NDC in Techiman South. The picture no amonfa and two screen is my ne Ghana for ni hu ni papa. Now I am to say this, the NDC from former President John Mahama, Monshe Namunti Asemia Menemo Bekin, Namunti na Supreme. Muria, take the frontline program out of the equation. Go and do your own investigations. Namuya investigations ni ria. Ascertain the report. Not diamu pesa modiano, na modiaye. But I will say to former President Mahama, Mr. President, beware of such characters we know. My job here would be to say one thing there. I am here to name, shame, and expose. Minkatani omasusa. Na enu na obi moma picture ne naso. Enu na obi atro message bi abase. Na mamenka sem se. Ebra flyer no echo out a. Amanfo bi hu say hey and the spotlight edda NDC personality bi so no. Then this fellow comes on Facebook or Sahinfa to write this, and I'm going to read it without editing. Or say Nidin or say meaning say Nidin no, but I know he may be watching or listening to this show. Or say Hassan Malam Hassan Tier. The management of class media will now realize the sense in Kwabna Bobie and sense resistance against his appointment. My appointment, Kwaku Annan's appointment. This is one of the repugnant, the most stupid, useless, idiocracy message that this fellow will write on the social media page. Hey, Masa, so we are bema enough and then say we do with Papa at the show. And again, walk to CTV. I say. Never one can say kasa asem we chire me. What? Can you look at it, the check of it? And obviously management they may better say Kwaku. Oh, bra, na be ye MPP be crusade against already no. The MPP star was omugu abanim. Huh? Are trying to have my meat to roast. Omu person omu roast me meat. And they won't say. The NPP top officials plus some communicators would find adverse fault against the job and answer the expose of Kwaku Annan, and they won't hear. But you know what? On the other side, this same NPP for he said there was some time ago in 2016, 2020. The same Kwaku Annan what baby na meka womo policies and programs say ayebo hu de rose. ebeboa magana akoye na maka kire mu bi ne mu dada say me my pledge is not for a political party. My pledge is for what? The state. And to ensure say before the state then comes a party or call it a government. Now the next is to ensure say who's our party now what abanimuno what policies and program when I see say ebetimia boamo my kanko akonenim, that is why I have to support you to put your policies out there. And that would not necessarily make me an MPP or an NDC. It means that me boa on my puntu on my kanko and a me here there. All right. Now what be trotron some fun side gumi page. Go and tell one no Bobby Ansan go and learn. Okay? If you pledge your support for a political party or a personality in a party, Kwaku Annan, I don't do that. I'm well civilized, well cultured. And I know what to do in order to ensure say, the nation Ghana gets well. I'm not here because of personality. So I don't build my life and my program on the shoulders of personality. I build it because Ghana first. Ghana must move on. Now, listen to me. Say NDC for it me bold enough to say a lot of a new man a party nimu a bebreni na ko wie say e de twe owura John Mahama akotwe ase entenye enu ni o. Do you know what some people are doing to John Mahama today? Na munya botre. There are a group of people even in NDC. Every now and then, yomo ya na so omo church report near the akoto John Mahama enim na omo jiska na omo ko. And Ubi says, Ora John Mahama, Neni, a saying, and no dear Hunioma Ecoso yet, do not bet me anticipate and say, oh, I have this group of gallant soldiers who wish me well. Say, that woman are be Dimitrinia called the promised land. Yet, and yes, Anna, I grown it here. And you want me to sit here and then keep quiet and watch them do that thing. Yes, sir. And by means of say Kwaku Annan expose such charlatans in the NDC, you know, it gives you a cause to justify. So, and a journalist big Bobby and Sam said, they say, what the heck? Do you know? Don't go there. Don't let me abuse something I don't want to do it. I challenge any journalist in this country. And you're my friend in Nipawo. Me put you the roadmap there. Me say, I don't have any competition with any journalist, whether in my household or outside my household. Nobody. Okay? I'm a unique and of course in my own right and in my own way of doing things. You will not tell me or give me the dictates of the job and professionalism as such. All right? When you know that useless surrogate, you know, push yourself out there. If the likes of the Bobiansa will succeed to tell the negative story about Kwaku Annan, this is me here. And of course, I don't support, if you are my friend and brother, let me who say, ya no, emfa impuntu of my master to heck, go, baby, gina crowd. Impe some phones are. It's mopa, go, quattro, ewo Facebook. I didn't know man church or Facebook, prior to my starting the show. I didn't know man church or Facebook. What church on kwa siasembebre, ewo Facebook. I kept quiet. Kona me hwade. And you think I'll keep quiet for some nonsense way? Yeah, Master, Ghana first too. Ghana best sorry. John Mahama should be pleased that we are doing this to save all these charlatans. Do you know what this man has done? Now make us say, we've sent a text message to this man. I understand say no person a parliamentary candidate. Emma NDC. One of the constituencies were him found. Is it a Teachman South or North, whatever? But the NDC should beware about him. On Saturday, exactly 3:40 p.m., this is the message that went to him. Follow up with calls to him. Hello, doctor. My name is Kwaku Annan, an investigative journalist. I have tried reaching you since yesterday, Friday, 22nd March 2024. But efforts yielded no results. Please revert the call for a discussion. Thank you, Kwaku. And the date here saying, oh, this unscrupulous scavenger. Tell me today's date. National date here. The ma papa is on from omra meaning komo. Waiting yaba. Yet Oshen this quietly. So John Mahama we need power. Obe place obe kwa lobby. Akoye nneoma ensem fata. Na me kyerɛ wo nneoma o tia bonten wa ne bonia wodi in the name of NDC. Edi I say NDC na. Che wo no ntra on kaka ansem fon no. Now the frontline investigate team have intercepted a voluminous document including the Auditor General's report revealing misappropriation plus forceful trespass of a parcel of land belonging to a Ghanaian base in the United States. Pape, ya capture Auditor General report. Chile say, wa misappropriate funds bi. Ni na egu ho. Na no member no so Wednesday na member no so. Tonight, we shall walk our listeners and viewers through the path to unravel this situation. And we urge the political establishment to beware of such characters who are making their way into the political corridors. To be very vigilant, sharp, to avoid people who oftentimes use the name of the party to intimidate people for their personal political breakthrough. Mu expose nkrofo mo hwehwe party no di bone. Yes. In view of the above, I personally will call on the National Democratic Congress to take a cognizance look of the above development and investigate further before it's too late. Our first document we intercepted is a material binding Dr. Christopher Beyere and a Ghanaian base in the United States, Madame Florence Opokunsia, seeking to resolve the impasse on the conditions of settlement. And we have the documents here, shall we? Documents we are maybe kind of much which I say. Apart from say ya pick documents, papa ono nana NDC breso. Now yeah, former executive secretary Emma health training institutions, you know. Sikebi eko so ho auditor general ora dom level. And a tro nyam nam tro. A kwanya or this is can or this is can or the year. But you see, oh maya emrebiye basabasasiya, the likes of Beyere number form wedi. No muria party ni besia ba bemu, still no masia koji post, no masia perpetuate the same crime and the same auditor general beba be investigated. Umuria no ma form wedi. This is the country you want me to understand and we build. Edo kwahi. Papa uye ne twere hwa. Ora Dr. Beyere etutu mirika akogye ban bibi so asase in the name of say or a politician. Nti asase no ma mini po on bill so fast asase no. Ade nti na obeyesa. Do you think the NDC bear the semblance of this forceful machoism? Sanete. Na muni mi se mo yesa mo di gu mo am party na nimu ase. Afi wo di gu candidate na nimu ase. Enti sa individual na ukoye sa admiti anu. So no ogi na nim se wo bodewuro against o candidate no. Say mo amudi nechi, mo ye tutrafo, mo ye say. What do you think you are doing to o candidate no? Eboa mo candidate no. And so now what ho na wo yes adwe na John Mahama etinifie no onim ho hwe. Osusu se ense wo bodewuro na party ne ehun ya akondo party no eye den ehun ba mfa so enipa ekondo party no mba ebesom party no enso mo hwe ho din quiet. Papai eyora Dr. Christopher Beyere ekokogye maami asase a kyese entiase ba ko se enim na ye ka bibia na weturo ne hands. And there's an allegations be say he thinks NDC is coming to power and then your mamino uncle to hell. So I need to be as home. And this is what politicians need be the motive. And I'm saying that our Trojan horse is monitoring. Makachemo. Mabobo binibidin wa. Woman MPP NDC. Haruna Drusu Maka me say their course E-levy umbeka na krenjere. Afenyo marking their course E-levy umbeka na krenjere. The Speaker of Ghana's Parliament where penny mabonidin. What is all my babontain? Kwana kobi so mse nti omuntimi ma bontain. Na Dr. Beyere na yabonidi enye yi. Look at this useless people madwini nya adwuma sa. Ade one maame ye why agreement o. abre wo ko hye maame na asase so wo gi asase ni firi maame ni nsem no owie no ono asan etena ase ni maame no eya agreement kwan obefa so a ode maame na asase ode be ma no, and this agreement was legally bind papa ni signature ehye mu bie. Why would you now go out there and then obe wadwen say won fa agreement ni nya adwuma? I didn't do this myself. We intercepted all of this. Na maame kan document ni mu nsem enchiro de ono ankasa papa yi one maame no eye ni embisa say the conduct of Dr. Beyere, does it represent the qualities, the semblance and everything about the leadership of the NDC? Now folks, we wait to me the agreement na to so and that screen is on into wa hwe na hwe say me na me tro ya or say this agreement is made this day of May 2022 between Dr. Christopher Beyere of PO Box 1915 Sunyane, owner proprietor of Kesby International School of the first part, and Miss Florence Opoku Insia of PO Box 2244 Sunyane of the second part. Now, I say Dr. Beyere and Miss Opoku Insia both own separate plots of land on a land originally referred to and described as Block A, Abisim, Chidom, Sector 16 on Doma Stool lands. Both Dr. Beyere and Miss Florence Opoku have a common grantor in the person of Paul Jehu of P.O. Box 1915 Sunyane. Dr. Beyere's said plot of land, Abast, shares boundary with the land of Miss Opoku Insia. Dr. Beyere has developed his part of the land into a school named as Kesby International, if I get it right, school, and is operating. Dr. Beyere, in developing his land, has also strayed onto Miss Opoku Insia's Abaten land, and has developed same within the past 6 months under the mistaken belief that Mrs. Opoku Insia's land form part of his, Dr. Beyere's land. Sane we are see etan. Wasasi nie, obi su die nie, but because nipa ni ho nti, wo hyeda giwenim na wo koe, na kyese wo si wo die wie o. Wasan ya trespass obi asase so akotam na asase. Asan I extend AC edan so school was edan AC was so na etre wi ase won ye didi wan che build. And I tell you folks, such in normal way are making is going on in many circles. And nipa di normal way di nipa wo memu a wo munya kama form wo nka o masem. And I have many such cases I'm investigating. Na wo kom na wutia areho. Mo said the last time me be bo real estate mami bi din I friend is Samampa real estate. Me say mo be tie mu nsem kona koko find out some mami way Samampa real estate e konya mami way di nipa bi fa so ha, all because she has what? The police in her pocket. She has the BNI in her pocket. She has some military top officers in her pocket. Into the open with me here. Yet we are saying, what the Ghana edrum pempenswa baby air kono afie bedru baby nipa ni de ombe nipa be treat you. Who treat you no be so treat you. Sana mo peno. Why would a personality like Dr. Christopher Beyere ebetu anamo etise? Now share. Or see, in a meeting conveyed by their grantor, Mr. Paul Jehu, to resolve the issue, Dr. Beyere has agreed that he will replace Miss Opoku Insia's lost land. Naturally, say, Ebra wonu ko meeting no. Papa ya oton asasi edema Miss friends Opoku Insia. Ono asoso na oton asase edema Dr. Christopher Beyere nti obi a wona asase eba ne sen na Dr. Christopher Beyere wutimi kọ wasase wu si wudan wo so na wo san down ho na ukoko wia sebe maame na asase adenti na obayesa ena ekoba ese papa yi a oton asase ne mo mienu na eye grantor no eye owura friend say eye Paul Jehu oni mpanimfo emienu etena se maame no ene papa yi doctor yi etena se obe resolve adenamom won be resolve no de koye ne se Dr. Christopher Beyere eye na adwe se obe replace maame na asase e de ama no sen na asem ne koko wie tie or say now the parties agree as follows that Dr. Beyere shall replace Ms. Opoku Nsia's land he has developed by purchasing a plot of land that also abuts Ms. Opoku Nsia's said plot of land within the shortest possible. Ovu say, send ye ahe nyu ahe she. Say papa no ehwe na enye yi a de so ya ne say obetimi so etua maame no eka asase ne say de cost ye. Say na asem ye kokopem ye. Folks, now one more agreement in the name of what? And a good screen is waiting. I say in witnesses therefore the parties here to have here on to set. It's been how many years in here? Check the document. How many years? Papa we decided to say obebu nuya egunasum. And according to our fact findings, let's say severally overlay oma bought papa chemswa papa I not say he will not heed to the call. Folks, the front line again have intercepted some document suggesting say a bus anwa afi enyoma course and on the contrary several months later Dr. Christopher Beyere have decided to ignore the binding agreement and rather resort to some form of political influence and now the matter had gone to the law court and the front line have secured some court document a bus and maamini who said no papa no edenafa ekwan bone so ti do betimi aya say no so called the law court na court ehwe asemdeka your court documents bi wa let's go into it shall we now say Florence Opoku Nsia house number blah 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 being what the plaintiff and then the defendant Christopher Beyere blah 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 the statement of claim or say plaintiff is a citizen of both Ghana and United States of America USA but ordinarily resident in USA. Defendant is a businessman and lives in Sunyani and is the owner proprietor of Kesby International School Sunyani on the Sunyani Kumasi Road. Plaintiff is the owner of a building plot of land known and described as the plot number 5H Block A, Abisim, Chidom, Sector 16. Plaintiff states that the plot described in paragraph 3, supra, from one Paul Jew of Yamfo aforesaid at the cost of 20,000 Ghana cedis in April 2015, and a deed of sale was executed by her and her said grantor. Copy of executed document would be produced. Mami the opportunity or there are some down court. So they call court no. If you my court it assess what asase no every ora Paul Jehu asase no auto 20,000 Ghana cedis. And oye na adwene say obe develop asase. Enimu ane say obi nsu etu asase ho anamon. Yankoso or say plaintiff averse that her said plots of land adjoins or shares boundary with defendant's plot of land. He, the defendant, purchased from the plaintiff's grantor Paul Jehu. Plaintiff says the defendant has developed the plot he owns into a school, Kesby International. Let's just say, Maameno say, Ora Dr. Christopher Beyere abetamo asasi ya sa asasi odiesi school odiesi school meanwhile ono ne de no a ene maame ne de ne bohye no so ene so school si so adentin na obey said greedy we ene won say politician bi a Nigerian politician all kind Africa greedy pesemen kumnya edien de ntina we ye de we ye now see plaintiff states while abroad she heard through her agents in Ghana that defendant has forcibly annexed, appropriated to himself the plaintiff said land and was rapidly developing plaintiff said plot of land. Osi no abrochiri. The otiane obi yi na sutre say hey mame o plot no politician bi di neni ene ni nsay na akowre mu a o mu develop it. Hey, now see any saying okay. Plaintiff averts that she repeatedly warned the defendant on several occasions to desist from his trespassery and illegal acts on her property. But the defendant defiantly continued to build his illegal structure on the plaintiff's land. Or say a bra or tea say papa etu anamono. Wofa kwan bi so mankra bi edru papa ho say ora dia wo ye en emwa jai na asase na enya wo dia na sen na call no or say plaintiff said she came to Ghana only to find that the defendant did not heed her protestations and had gone ahead to erect an illegal structure on plaintiff's said land, which he claims forms part of the structures for his school. Plaintiff states that she threatened to pull down the illegal structure put up by the defendant, but the defendant pleaded for an amicable settlement of the matter by offering a plot near the plaintiff's said land in replacement. Or say brought here some no aba Ghana. Now be who say deda wo ye etre Dr. Christopher Beyere no wante MWCC dynamic ni ade. Afio ye na dwen say obebubu structures na ewo edan no so. Na Dr. Beyere ankasa ene ne ka say oye sorry na emum one ne betra se na won ma eden a resolve asemi na asase no we replace e de amana asema papa yi ka chenie. Now it also plaintiff said an agreement was consequently executed between the plaintiff and the defendant, under which defendant undertook to purchase a plot of land in the vicinity of plaintiff's plot in replacement within the shortest possible time. Copy said agreement to be tendered. Also, plaintiff contends that despite this agreement, the defendant has blatantly failed, refused, neglected to fulfill his obligation under the agreements despite repeated demands on him to do so. I didn't say I'll be deep on this. Mami chiremu court document mu say afio bon humodi bia say papa one ne be ekoswa na wa engage ni say ora de wo ye mi enye I say wo bu mi abra mi su afi wo chichire me say gumechi aka che me say asase na wo de onanso wo pe wo mpe meje efiri nsem adenti and the politicians na politicians ye be sa wo ka bia efi ohun se papa no dia akoya na se poto hwegum dan kwansere ba kon obubu nua egu nasem several attempt ma mi si wo ye nara kire se enya de a papa ya na adwen se obeden obefi no or see plaintiff states that the defendant does not intend to fulfill his promise and have ignored all plaintiff's demands whilst he defendantly continue to unlawfully deprive plaintiff of her use of her property. Not just say, the Ekodra ne say, Enyadia, or no, event saying, Dr. Christopher Beyere, Obema Quine, and I say, Obebampu, ma, Bebia, ma meno, or Tasa, Sinifrey, Ura, Paul Jamefia, Paul Jeuna, or Thomas, as Cinema Mummy in Ukrano, and Commono Medidia, and Tiasabe, Mr. Obe replacing my Menasa, Papa ready, Dr. Christopher Beyere, on ye ready, so Beba for it. Or say, wherefore, the plaintiff claims against the defendants the following: an order for declaration of title and recovery of possession of all that building, plot known and described as plots number 5H Block A, Abisim Yadom, Sector 16, on the Sunyani Kumasi Road, which the defendants has trespassed on and forcibly appropriated to himself without the consent and authority of the plaintiff, the real owner. Not just a mami chrimua, a fide de dra say as a sir, or the nasem akodan court. Say court and momodin na omane say relieves benya. Court and shapa panamani who's assassin and yanedia. Now fi kwe bia sono the title a das assassin to be bia emra nidimo. Or say order for the damages against defendant for trespass in favor of the plaintiff. Not just say yema kwan na bibiara doctor no waye tia maame no ni nara nensa eyeden yema no a compensation to say an order for the demolition of an illegal structure the defendant has erected on plaintiff's said land despite repeated protestation to the defendant by the plaintiff not to do so, which said demolition should be at the expense cost of the defendant, cost of this suit including plaintiff's legal fees and any other reliefs. Ebusuya enya asema emuyemre and a court eden ensasha adiase lawyer for plaintiff maami chiremu a sesia no court ema ne kwan ana court emfansi su se bebia Dr. Christopher Beyere we si dan enye ne dia court ma kwan ye mubu dan no afi ye bubu dan na ehun cost bia no so me enfa ma ono ma me ye fa ma papa no ensem ne de bebre na ebusuafo me no wo ka say the information we are picking just a court the case ne wie e ma o ma award ma me no all the necessary reliefs are here the man e asem papa ibisa enti do you think say it will serve former President John Mahama right said John Mahama ebenam campaign so e wo sunyane na enipa bi di placards na omo di hia no say o party ni mu mpanimfo kwan omo di afa so ene would they help John Mahama? We expose all these people now before time. And I am here to say, Mr. President John Mahama, former, we investigate it further. Folks, we investigate it further. Say NDC for it will be papa bia as a mukachira papa ya we investigate we case we further. There is more Wednesday a BP. Na be nim guasie enko ye nentwa ye. Now, I will show you other documents nyame na metre Auditor General Domlivo na Troy. I will show you documents in so papa Kwaku bie law school and then law school no okobie no Ghana FS General Legal Council for Atria sign details all coming folks enyen semwa emudwesa wo na say who belong to amanyoko na nipa bi enam akire yes anema we ya who baby sa ho say mo kwa na asem oba bibisa wo wow tonight channel to say program no and many stations so I Sunyane FM 88.1 Woma pick the feed. And then we are live in Western Region, Tadi 99.1, almost pick the feed. And then we are live on YouTube and then Facebook. Nina my CTV GH, my CTV GH. Or YouTube one of my myself. Or call on no one subscribe it. What's it? Or subscribe ya no be hiding. And you being so Asher and come. My main can WhatsApp messages. Quick. Na yen hwese dia enyoma ebesi akọ